What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, back here for another Tottenham update. We haven't brought you one in a while, actually, so we've got a bit of news to talk about, a bit of news coming out from The Athletic this morning. We're going to give you some loan watch as well today. Some of our players doing really well out on loan. But let's start off with the first update from The Athletic. This is from David Ornstein from The Athletic, and he says, Tottenham are keeping tabs on Aston Villa centre-back Ezri Konsa as they seek defensive reinforcements in the summer.
Yeah, I think he's actually a really good centre-back. I really
agree.
like the look of him.
I
remember everyone thought like Mings was like the better centre-back of the pair, and then I think he got a red card in one game. I can't remember what game it was, and like he was missing for 3 games. Everyone was wondering like how they're going to cope without him, and he completely stepped up, and he was able to keep clean sheets just as much as they were before.
But not only that, lifelong Tottenham fan.
Yeah, and he was part of the academy. He was at part of that Sunday League team called Senrab, who was Ledley King was that.
Ledley King was part of. John Terry was part of. I think Jermaine Defoe was even part of it. There were a lot of players, and a lot of players came through that team.
Yeah, and he's part of that, right? He was part of that Sunday League team. So, and he's young, English. So I think he's kind of perfect kind of profile for a centre-back.
Ticks all the boxes, doesn't it?
The only problem is Villa are actually quite good now, so they're probably going to demand quite a high fee. It's not going to be so easy to get. Maybe a few years ago when they're in the Championship or whatnot,
But if he wants to go,
I think it's imperative that we finish above Villa in the summer. Otherwise, there's no point in him coming. Well, why would he see us as an attractive place to be?
Well, you got to look at the both clubs set up and both clubs in the future as well.
Villa are very similar in terms of they're a big club who've underachieved for a long time.
Yes, but we've first of all, we've got Jose Mourinho as our manager. We've got one of the best stadiums in Europe. We've been in the Champions League more than we haven't done in the past 5 years. And that's where the club are looking to be. When you look at Aston Villa, they're not a club looking to be in the Champions League regularly at the moment.
No, but I think they've definitely had a very good season so far.
Yeah, there's no doubting
They
that.
definitely stepped up from last season. There's definitely a very good feel-good factor around Aston Villa at the moment. And when you see players like Jack Grealish rejecting other offers and signing big contracts when he could be at any club really in the Premier League he wants to be, and he decides staying at Aston Villa, he definitely is. I can see Konsa anyway at the moment. He's probably very happy at Aston Villa right now, and he's probably not desperate to leave. So, just what I can see, we would have to be a very attractive proposition for him to start forcing a move to us. And for that to be the case, we need to finish above them and look like we're going somewhere.
Do you not think for a top centre-back, we are an attractive opposition? Because we've got such a hole at centre-back. Bring in 1 or 2 centre-backs, that really propels us into being probably favourites to finish them in the top 4.
I agree with you. But he has to be convinced that we're moving forward in a better direction than Aston Villa. At the moment, that's not that apparent. By the end of the season, it might be, but we have to prove ourselves. We have to prove ourselves to be the more attractive club to be at. We need to be in the. I feel like we need to be in the Champions League for next season, and then I think he might say, okay, this is the place I need to be. I would be very happy for this. I think he's not a Skriniar yet, or anything like that, because he hasn't proven himself.
I think right now, as it stands, he's a good Premier League player.
Yeah, he's just a good Premier League centre-back. But the thing is, he's the right profile. He's very physical. He's tall. He's fast. He's young. So I think...
How's he on the ball?
He's okay on the ball. He's not amazing, but he's okay. I think Mings is a bit better than him, but he can improve that aspect. He's still 23. He hasn't had any England caps yet or anything, but he's kind of like a late bloomer in that sense. Mm-hmm. But I like the look of him. I like the way he's played so far for Aston Villa this season. He's had that experience of being in a relegation battle, and then he overcame that, and now he's performing week in, week out, for a team battling for Europe and still playing just as well. So I think...
He gets a few goals as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think he has scored a few goals. He's got a big leap on him. So I would be happy if we got him. I think at the moment, he's probably best as like a second centre-back. You want him alongside a world-class centre-back, don't you? That's the thing.
I think if we could... Well, how much would he command? How much? 40 million, something like that?
Around that ballpark, I'm thinking.
I mean, is it really realistic for us to sign him and a Sven Botman, something like that? Or do you think it's just one?
I can't see us
I guess
spending...
it depends who we get out the door.
Yeah, exactly. I can't see it. Unless we get money through, I can't see us spending 80 million on 2 players. I can't see it. Not the way we spend money. So... It would have to be a work in progress, this deal. Maybe if Aston Villa fall off and they finish like 10th or 9th and we finish like around top 4, then maybe it could be one of those that is definitely a go. At the moment, he's probably very settled at Villa, so I wouldn't get too excited about a potential deal just yet.
Actually, I was actually going to see, when does his contract run out? Because I believe it's pretty soon.
No, I don't know.
Here it is, 2023.
So he has 18 months left.
Exactly. So.
Oh no, he doesn't. Yes, that's 2 years.
Yeah, and the club have an option for another year as well.
So it's not a big issue.
But look, he was really good at Brentford as well before he signed for Aston Villa. So he's got pedigree in the English league. So I would love Konsa at Spurs. I really would. But let's move on. Let's talk about Jose Mourinho, because the Athletic has been speaking a lot about Jose today. And the first update about him is Tottenham are not currently considering replacing Jose Mourinho. The head coach does not have a break clause in his contract with the club either. So it's actually rumoured that there was a sort of break clause if he wasn't doing well, then both parties could part way, but that's not the case. So if we were to get rid of him and he was to face the chop, he's going to have a big payout. Following on from that, Eccleshare of The Athletic says Levy is a big fan of his. He's kind of in awe of Jose, so I don't think he's going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah, and also Footy Insider said Harry Kane. We love Footy Insider, as always.
Tier 2071.
They said Kane apparently is fully backing Mourinho, but what can we don't, obviously they're very unreliable. It doesn't surprise me, any of that. I think the whole Mourinho thing, I don't think we're gonna just chuck it aside as soon as we hit a rocky patch like now. I think Levy's very aware of the situation this season in terms of how close the table is, and how every team is seeming to have a drop off. You know, if you look at, it's interesting. If you look at Leicester in second place right now, they're on course for 72 points in second place. That's the same as AVB got Spurs. Like, no one would say that Leicester side is as good as the AVB Spurs. Like, no one would say that. Yeah. But that's just the nature of the game at the moment. Every team is having a big drop off because of this season. So, and
Man City, I think they're on course for like 84 points or something like that.
Yeah,
we got 86 points that last year at White Hart Lane.
So it's not exactly 95 or 99 what they have before. So I would say that I think they're right to judge it right now. Like, people saying like Mourinho's got worse points per game than Ramos and all this kind of stuff. You've got to take context into all these situations, and all like everyone this season has got a worse like points per game than previous because of just the nature of the season. Everyone's dropping points left, right, and centre. It's hard to judge right now when there's 15 games to go. And I know we're sitting in 8th or 9th. I don't know what right now. We're sitting in 9th, but it's just so tight. Like, right now we're 9th, but in a couple of weeks' time we could be 4th. 4
points at top 4.
So,
well, is it 4 points?
4 points with a game in hand.
Yeah, with a game in hand.
But it depends what other teams above us do, because Everton have a game in hand, and West Ham are playing tonight and whatnot. So I think it's the right thing not to panic and not to say that even though we're in very bad form, 3 wins in 12, it's pretty awful form. 16 points out of 14 games is horrific, but I think we need to keep a cool head and just hope he can turn it around and maybe reassess things at the end of the season. I don't think it's time to panic.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird because usually when Spurs are on this kind of form, I'm like really heated and I'm really upset about the situation. Yeah, I'm not delighted about the situation, but I've got kind of in the back of my mind thinking, I still think that we can turn it around this season. I really believe that, mainly because of the fixtures that we've got for the rest of the season, seeing as we played like most of the heavy hitters all already. Yeah,
it's not that gives me encouragement. I just think we can. I just think, apart from the displays against when we didn't have Kane against Chelsea and against Brighton, that was really bad. Apart from those games, every game,
apart from the Everton and Leicester game,
and we've got Everton and Leicester in those games, like, we've been a bit unlucky in a lot of those games, and just stupid things have cost us, and I can see a pathway for us to turn things around, especially since that West Brom game when we've moved on Ndombele a bit deeper. I think we have looked a lot better, so I'm encouraged by that, and hopefully second half of the season when Lo Celso's back as well and Reguilon's back in the team this week, and hopefully Bell and Dele can start contributing, then there's prospects there. But obviously we need the points. We need the points at the moment, and he is under pressure, Mourinho, but I don't think it's time to panic and start and do what Chelsea did and just sack the manager.
I agree.
Although, they got a bounce at the moment, and I'm sure Tuchel will do a good job there. I don't think for us it's the right thing to do, and I think we have to just stick with Mourinho. When you don't bring a manager in like Mourinho, if you're and with all the circumstances surrounding the season, you just chuck him away after a bad run. I think that would be the wrong thing to do, and I think there is a pathway, and I think Levy knows that. He's previously sacked managers like Martin Jol and one day Ramos fairly quickly, and Redknapp sacked him after a good season. AVB, it was a fairly similar situation. He had a bad run up until December and sacked him.
I mean, every situation is different at the end of the day. But
yeah, but I think he doesn't. I don't think he like Levy wanted Mourinho for so long, and I don't think he's going to chuck him away that easily. Yeah. I don't think he would.
I agree. But moving on from that, well, it's actually the same thing. But the last update from The Athletic is about Jose again. And they say Tottenham are watching Leipzig manager Julian Nagelsmann closely. However, Jose Mourinho's job is not currently in any immediate danger. So, I mean, at least they're looking for kind of contingency plans if it does go horribly wrong.
Look, there's no chance Nagelsmann is coming in this season. So if anything happens, it's going to be at the end because he's.
I think he just signed a new contract.
Yeah, he's in the
recently.
Champions League. They're playing Liverpool. If they he wants.
We're not getting a new manager, so
yeah. Look, he last season got to the semi-final, so he knows that Leipzig are in a position they can compete. Bundesliga, they're up there, aren't they? Up challenging the top two, even though they sold Werner and they sold all these players. I'm pretty sure they're up there challenging with Bayern. I think Bayern are stealing ahead, but I'm pretty sure they're second place. So I don't think he's going to be willing to leave that mid-season. If anything, it's going to happen at the end. And look, and you have to be realistic. If we do drop out of all the cups and we finish mid-table, then Mourinho's job has to be seriously considered about whether he's getting the best out of this team. And then that'll be a time to look at Nagelsmann. But I don't think we're looking at him right now or anything like that.
At the end of the day, Nagelsmann is what, like 34 years old 33, or something?
So he's got a lot of time ahead of him.
He is so young.
It's ridiculous.
For a manager. He was so young. So Mourinho could be here for the next 5 years and we can still look at him as our next manager kind of thing.
Yeah. The only thing I would say is I'm pretty sure Levy did start talking to Mourinho about a month before he sacked Poch, didn't he?
Well, those are the rumours,
it's probably true, isn't it? So,
to be honest, he's probably spoken to him about a year before
Pochettino got sacked. I would say when Mourinho was on the market, he's probably definitely having those discussions. So I don't think he's having those discussions with Nagelsmann now, but if things do turn really, really sour, I can envisage, say, April time, him going Nagelsmann, look, next season, I think we're going to bin off Mourinho in the summer, maybe, would you be interested, something like that. I think at the moment, there's nothing in that at the moment.
I agree. Moving on, this is from Sky Sports about Sergio Reguilon. He is about imminently returning from injury, which is great news, but this is about his return to Real Madrid, and there was a lot of talk in the press over the last week about how Real Madrid are going to go in for Reguilon, and obviously with that buyback clause, it didn't look like good news for us, but apparently all those rumours are all completely false, and the player is loving life in London at the moment. That's great to hear, isn't it?
That is very good to hear. We can see he's very happy at the moment, but you never know. You never know what the situation's going to be in the summer or next season. Hopefully we have a good season. We have enough ambition in our season, and we have a good enough season to convince Reguilon that he's in a good place. So this is the place to be. I think he is enjoying it here, and obviously he's a starter. But I think someone like Reguilon, he's won Europa League already with Sevilla. He's clearly this is a top quality left back. We've seen it week in week out for Spurs. He should be playing Champions League football, and if we can't give it to him for next season, he probably would. Why would he? He's already won Europa League. Why would he want to be there for another year? Europa League.
Look, he's young. He's got a big career ahead of him. I think one more year out of the Champions League is not going to kill him.
Yeah, but this is he won Europa League last year. He's taken this season. He's in Europa League again. Right, we could win it, fair or something. But if he's in Europa League for a third season, where's the motivation to win that when you've just won it already? You want to take the next step. When you won that competition, you want to be in the Champions League. I'm not saying if we get Europa League, he's going to demand to leave. I don't know that, but I'm saying it'll be easier to convince him to stay if we're in Champions League, and that I think that's pretty vital. We were lucky to get him in the summer because Man United only rejected him because of
Chelsea were in for him as well.
The buyback clause, and Chelsea were in for him. They're both in the Champions League, and he chose us because we were willing to accept the clause because we really wanted him. And we now have, we weren't even. Remember, in the time we weren't even looking for a left back. We were only because it was an opportunity we got him. And think about that now. Imagine we didn't have Reguilon this season. How screwed we would be. Absolutely
imagine we didn't have Reguilon. Aurier was going to leave as well.
Oh my God! What were we thinking? We were happy about that. What were we thinking in the summer? Like, what were we? I don't know what we were thinking.
I don't think me and you weren't happy about.
No, we weren't happy about it.
Aurier.
Yeah, we weren't happy about it. But what I would say is, no, you're right. We weren't happy about it. But it was just a weird start in the summer. That could have been, if things turned out differently, that could have been what happened, and we would have been we could be literally bottom half right now if that was the case, really. So we're lucky to have
we're not close off it.
Yeah, I know, but right now, but I'm just can't wait for Reguilon to get back in the team. I think he really provides a different outlet to our left-hand side. Davis just can't do the same job, especially when he's playing week in, week out, and he's getting tired. So it's imperative that we get him back in the team, and then we have those options again. And I'm hopeful he can stay, but we need to have a good end to the season to reassure that.
All right, and let's move on. We've got some quotes from Marcus Rashford here. Really interesting quotes on Jose Mourinho, because obviously when Mourinho was at United, him and Rashford, there was something going on there, wasn't there? And
people accused him of not playing him enough and stuff like that.
Yeah, to the media and to the general public, the narrative was that they don't really get on, and Rashford didn't like Mourinho's style of management or whatever. That was the narrative. But these are the quotes from Rashford in the last week, and he says, "I learned to win in different ways. It was a tough time, but there are moments that make or break you. His style of management may not have been perfect, but it definitely made me improve as a player and as a person."
Yeah, interesting stuff. What you're saying about Mourinho. He didn't have the easiest times under Jose. But he wasn't as good as player. I think he got a lot of opportunities, and he's developed a lot since Mourinho.
So I'm saying, do you think what he's saying there, the player he is now, is some part to do with Jose Mourinho?
I'm sure it does. I think he was saying actually in that interview that it was more about how he helped the team rather than individually. He's developed in the way he sees football, in the sense that when he was in the youth level and when he was coming up through the academy, it was all about your own personal achievement. It's all about you getting you showing yourself off to the scouts and you showing yourself off to the coaches who are watching you, seeing if you're ready for the first team. So when you get in a position, right, when you're in on goal or whatnot, you always got to go for goal because you're judged on whether your goals and assists. That's how you boost yourself up through the academy. But when you get into the first team, it's a different approach. You can't be that selfish. You can't just think of yourself. You have to think of the team, and it's all about how well the team does. It's not about you individually getting your goals and assists up. It's a different way of thinking, a different way of playing. And he said Mourinho helped him to see that, and helped him to see that 1-0 win is you get as many points as a 6-0 win kind of thing, or a 5-4 win, sorry. And you have to be able to help the team out and do your job for the team if you want to be part of the 11. And that's what he said. And I'm sure the way he is now is definitely, Mourinho has some impact. I'm not sure in terms of the amazing attacking player is all down to Mourinho or anything like that, but I'm sure he helped him in his football development for sure.
I wonder if Luke Shaw has the same thing.
Yeah, I wonder. Interesting.
Let's move on to a bit of Loan Watch now. The last bit of the show, we're going to start talking about Ryan Sessegnon, as he's been out for the last 6 or 7 games with injury for Hoffenheim, and he's done an interview on the Hoffenheim Twitter, which you can go and check out, and he was talking about how much of a tough time it is because he was really getting some regular time. He thought he was playing well for the majority of the games. He said he had majority good games, some bad games, but it felt good to be playing week in, week out for Hoffenheim in this left wing back position, and it's kind of annoyed him that he's gone out injured for the last 6 or 7 games, but finally he's back fit now and will be playing this Thursday into the Europa League. So it's great to have Sessegnon back for Hoffenheim and get him back on the pitch.
Yeah, didn't he get a player of the month for them or something?
Yeah, he did.
For that one of the months before he got injured. So, and he was also talking about his ambitions for next season. He said it's definitely his goal to challenge the Tottenham first team for next season and get involved. And if that's not possible, then he wants to have another loan move. But yeah, I think he'll definitely be an asset for us at the way he's playing at the moment for Hoffenheim. He definitely looks like he has the capabilities of helping a good squad player for us as well, competing with Reguilon for that left back spot. And I'm excited what I'm seeing because at the moment, because obviously he was for last year, it didn't really work out for him. Didn't get he didn't really take the opportunities he got when he got them, and he didn't seem that confident. But he seems to be growing in confidence now over there in Germany. It seems to be the case for a few English players at the moment. They go over there to Germany.
It's a bit of a trend at the moment, isn't it?
And
last couple of years.
And he seems to be fitting that mould. So I'm excited for him to come back next season. Maybe it could save us a bit of money if if we either sell Davis or whatever happens.
Even if we were to keep Davis, he would still add something to the squad because Davis, he's so versatile, can fit in that centre-back position, that left-back position.
Probably worth having around, yeah.
I think it's worth keeping Davis, we just can't use him like we're using him at the moment.
At the moment, yeah, we're killing him at the moment. Playing him, but we've got an option, but him playing left-back every week is when he's tiring and he's getting rinsed pretty much on a weekly basis. Unfortunately for him, he's pretty much getting hung out to dry every game.
100%.
And it's a bit harsh on him, but it is what it is at the moment.
He's a good player. He's just not good enough to start for us regularly.
Yeah, he's good when he's rotating and he's a squad player and he comes in like every now and then and puts in a good performance. But when he's playing in, week out, he can struggle like he is right now, especially in this kind of season. You can definitely see why he's struggling.
Ollie Skip, another man of the match display from Ollie Skip as Norwich went back top of the league with a smashing 4-1 win over Stoke City. He came up against Jack Clarke in that game as well. So Skip, absolutely, he's going from strength to strength this season. He's just getting better and better and better. Man of the match after man of the match. The plaudits for the Norwich fans on Twitter are coming in time and time again. And, I just want him back now. Never mind next season. I want him back now.
I'm starting to question whether Spurs fans are like making fake Norwich Twitter fan accounts to praise him because the praise is really like amazing. Like they're saying they can't believe what a good player is. I remember I saw one Norwich fan say after the game, it's such a shame there are no fans in the stadium because Skip is missing out on loads of standing ovations since his time at Norwich.
I saw that.
It seems to be every week. There's more and more plaudits for Skip, and he's clearly making a big impression. The fact they're seeing top of the league as well is probably testament to that, how well they're doing and what a big impact he's made. And I'm very happy with that. I'm really happy with that, and I really can't wait to have him back next season. I really can't. I'm very excited for that.
All right. Jack Clarke, he is on loan at Stoke City. Obviously played Ollie Skip in a 4-1 defeat to Norwich this week. He's played 6 games so far for the championship side Stoke. And as well, the fans on Twitter that I've seen so far about Jack Clarke seem to really like him.
Yeah, he seems to make a good impact as well at Stoke. It's only a few games in.
Yeah, 6 games.
But he's probably done more in those 6 games than he did the whole of last season with Leeds and QPR, where he did pretty much nothing.
Yeah.
So it seems to be he's found a bit of a home at least at Stoke for the next 6 months, and they seem happy with him. So let's hope he can gain some confidence and go strength for strength. I don't think he'll be part of the first team though next season at the moment.
Yeah, probably not. And last but not least, Troy Parrott. So he's on loan at Ipswich after being recalled from Millwall. He is now at League One side Ipswich, and he's played 2 games so far. Hasn't scored as of yet, but what I've been seeing on social media with the Ipswich fans is they've really, really impressed with his movement and his first touch.
It's probably better for him, at 18, 19 years of age. Like Millwall, in theory, could have been a good club to turn him into a man, but they were struggling so bad, and the football they play was never going to be conducive for a youngster up front.
They were putting him out on the wing and stuff.
Yeah, they were doing silly stuff, and they're a very physical side, aren't they? And they're just lumping balls to him, and he can't compete physically. Ipswich in League One's probably a better fit for now, and hopefully he can get some more game time up front and get some more time on the ball and show what he can do against these level defenders. And yeah, as you say, they seem happy with him for the time being. But then again, Millwall at the beginning seemed happy with him as well. So hard to judge, but hopefully from now to the end of the season he can get a few goals.
The difference is that the Millwall manager Gary Rowett was full of praise of Troy Parrott, but that was mainly to do with his work in training.
Yeah.
The Ipswich fans are seeing it on the pitch. They're seeing his first touch, they're seeing his movement, and they really were singing his praises on Twitter, saying like, Tottenham, you've got a real player here. I hope we get to see good times from him this season. So let's hope he hits the ground running at at Ipswich, because he hasn't scored yet. He's played on his debut, he played 70 minutes, and on his second game he played 90 minutes, and both as the number 9 role. So
Yeah,
so hopefully that's good things to come.
Yeah, I look at him, I still feel like he has a lot of developing to do. I feel like
he needs to bulk up.
He still seems a bit like a teenager as opposed to like a fully grown like male who's ready to compete for the first team. I don't think he's ready for that yet. So I think that probably what I'm thinking for next season is probably another loan deal. I don't think he's going to be, maybe a higher caliber team, but I don't think he's going to be part of the first team again.
I've actually seen more from Dane Scarlett than I've seen from Troy Parrott.
I have, and clearly Mourinho has as well. The fact that he's put him in a few times, hasn't he? So hopefully we can see a bit more from Dane as well. But yeah. Hopefully Parrott can have a good end of the loan spell for Ipswich.
All right, so there you have it. That is the Tottenham update today. We spoke about a lot of updates today from The Athletic. We spoke about Marcus Rashford quotes on Jose Mourinho, and we went through a bit of a loan watch as well for you guys today. Let me know in the comment section below your thoughts regarding anything we spoke about today. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.